When couples appear in Judge Lake's paternity court, the paternity doubt is usually a result of possible cheating. However, Judge Lake's court seems to experience a new breed of cases when a sibling questions the paternity of the other.
Mr. Poravecchio, you claim that the defendants, Ms. Touche and her daughter, Ms. Lutt, fraudulently received $150,000 in settlement money from the death of your father, Ricky Poravecchio Sr.
He wants the money returned to his family and hopes that today's DNA results will back his claim. He is outrageous and capable of causing a severe stir if the parties do not approach the court.
Ms. Touche, you are here to put an end to a more than 30-year-old feud between your family and the Poravecchios, which started with rumors and lies about your daughter's paternity.
Yes.
The plaintiff believes the defendant defrauded his family for over 30 years. Judge Lake then asks for the reason he has these beliefs.
Let me understand. Your father at the time was married to
My mom. Me.
Ms. Touche.
I feel the settlement was awarded to Ms. Touche. Mrs. Lutz had a maiden name, her mother's Touche as a maiden name of Theo.
The plaintiff claims that the defendant was named Theo, but her mother later changed her last name to Poravecchio. The plaintiff believes this is due to the paternity doubts in the defendant's mother's mind, and he wants the court to settle this.
A week after my dad was declared deceased, Miss Lutz was changed from Theo to
My mom
Poravecchio.
had to change my name because I was born a Theo because she was out of wedlock. My dad and her were poor. After he died, they were already going to get my name changed, and after he died, she had to have it changed.
This fact seems inconsequential to the defendants, but the plaintiff claims the last name change is due to the fraud that the defendants hope to commit.
Was born, we were gonna put Ricky Poravecchio's name on there and have her last name, but we were told by the hospital that legally we could not do that. It was in '83. You do not know what the laws and regulations were at that time.
Apparently you don't either.
Both families do not seem to agree on any fact apart from that the defendant's mother changed the defendant's last name. They all seem to have different versions of events, which caused fierce court exchanges when the witnesses stepped up.
What did we say? I never said anything bad to you about the Poravecchios because you were a child and there was no place in that for children. That was an adult situation.
The defendant's primary claim is that until her father died, she was accepted by the family. However, the paternity claim started after her father's demise, and she does not think this is reasonable enough.
My brother walked in on her having an affair.
Oh my God. How would you know something like that? Your Honor, I'd like to explain that lie.
It was told
okay?
by my brother.
I got pregnant. I was almost 18 years old. I got pregnant. Things started going a little downhill from there because he started showing signs of jealousy and issues going on.
The defendant's mother claims that she and the plaintiff's father got married a year after her daughter was born, and they even had a son.
From the Poravecchio family, and the only reason there's any question about any money is because they thought they can get their greedy little hands on it after my daddy passed.
Anything about anything.
Oh, really?
All right.
The parties seemed to wait for every opportunity to attack each other verbally, which affected the presentation of their matters in court.
So ever in a relationship with this man?
After my husband passed away, yes, ma'am.
You did bring him to your husband's funeral?
He was a friend of the family, yes, ma'am. He went. So
Families declared that only the DNA results would be able to settle the rift between them, and Judge Lake agreed. The family had been in turmoil for 30 years. Surprisingly, no one seemed to have petitioned the court for a paternity court until now.
Performed a siblingship DNA test using Mr. Poravecchio Jr. and his mother, Ms. Bruce's DNA, as well as Ms. Lutz and her mother, Ms. Touche's DNA.
This testing is the only way to find out the truth since the plaintiff's father is dead.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Poravecchio and Ms. Lutt are siblings.
Thank you. Keep up the lies, Ricky. Keep it up.
When a man has paternity doubts in his relationship, there are various ways to go about this. Some attempt to resolve it as soon as possible, but this man seems to have taken it wrongly.
Ms. McGee, you have petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove to your estranged husband, Mr. McGee, that he is in fact the father of your 4-year-old daughter.
The defendant claims he has reasonable grounds to back his actions, and he would not have done that without a doubt.
Only to discover that after Serenity was born, your wife cheated on you and that you may not be the father of the child.
Yes, Your Honor.
The plaintiff is quite furious at the defendant for vanishing since her child was born, and Judge Lake wants to understand what she has been through.
I've had to
pay for medical expenses for my daughter. My daughter was born with slight autism. He left us homeless with my newborn child, and he just vanished and left her. I did everything by myself for the last almost 5 years.
Both parties seem to have been aware of the doubts, but the plaintiff insists the defendant is the father of her kid, and he could have stayed with them.
Your Honor, I don't believe that Serenity is mine, so I didn't see any need to help.
How you not feel she yours when you know me and you were messing around the time I conceived?
No, because you were messing around with multiple
You was
people.
too, and you talking.
The plaintiff informs Judge Lake that she is not a saint and was messing around during their relationship, but she is sure about her child's paternity.
We were still messing around. Even though he had moved on, while he's sitting up here making it seem like I was just out there, he was messing around too. I know he's my child father, and he needs to step up and help take care of her, because I can't continue to do this on my own.
The defendant also claims the paternity doubts are based on external evidence he had during their relationship. He did not have these doubts until something happened.
I don't believe, because not only her, but multiple family members of hers is informing they think that I'm not the father of the child. Sitting on the edge of the bed, her phone ended up going off. I'm going through the messages. I see a message in there from another guy talking about how's my baby.
The plaintiff is a bit surprised by the defendant's comments, and she tries to explain the actual situation of their relationship.
I'm looking through pictures. She got naked pictures of showing other men genitalia. So she's supposed to be my wife, but this not me.
He was cheating on me. I was cheating on him. I told him it was a slight possibility he wasn't my child's father. I was honest with him, but that still don't change the fact even after I had her, you married me.
The plaintiff claims the defendant could have requested a DNA test before marrying or running away from her and her daughter's life. She hopes the DNA results will back her claims and award her child support.
Perfect in this situation. Yes, I cheated. So it's possible that Serenity is not mine. She tell me that I'm possibly not the father.
Throughout our relationship, he cheated on me.
Who told you?
Her mother told me that I'm not the father.
At this point, Judge Lake decided to bring in the plaintiff's mother so she could explain why she believed the defendant was not the father.
Do you think Mr. McGee is your grandchild's father?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
You don't?
No, my daughter was out there.
I was out there.
Yes.
Was I slut when you married me? Was I slut when you slept with me?
When the plaintiff's mother informs the defendant that he is not the father of her daughter's child, it causes a severe stir between everyone involved. They believe she would never say bad things about her daughter.
Okay. And so, no, I do not believe that he's the father, because I knew my daughter was out there. And I knew that she had made mistakes. During the time of her conception doesn't match up with him being.
The plaintiff confessed to her infidelity during her relationship with the defendant, but insists he is the father.
Pray her. Your Honor, I only can go by what my daughter said to me. That's it.
And what did she say?
She told me, she said, Mom, I made a mistake. I went out there and I did this and I did that, and I immediately got upset.
The plaintiff's mother believes her daughter's future fiancé is the father, prompting the plaintiff to explain her relationship.
He stepped up and helped me take care of my child while this one left us bogus. So of course I'm gonna move on with my life. I'm not gonna sit up there and keep being bitter. That little girl means more to me than anything. And that's why he stepped up.
The introduction of a future fiancé seems to be changing the dynamism of the case, and Judge Lake wants to know if there's a possibility of him being the father.
Were you intimate with him during the window of conception?
Once.
With protection or without?
Without.
The case erupted into a severe battle between the parties and the future fiancé. Judge Lake then decided to read the DNA results.
It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. McGee.
How you feel now? Bet you feel stupid now, don't you?
Miss McGee.